In problem 2, we want to find or complete tables showing the amount, the value of an investment, or find the amount A, the value of an investment, for a given principal, given rate of interest, time in years, and is compounded n times annually. Now, if you look at the table that we need to complete, n is the variable, and we have some constants here for calculation. We're going to use two different formulas for the compounding. The compound interest formula uses different values of n, and it is a slightly different formula, as you can see. Actually, it's not slightly different, it's quite different. So I don't have a graphing calculator available, but if I had one on the computer, I'd show you that I would set this up this way. For principal, I'm using, for the compound interest formula, I would set it up and say, well, I've got principal is $250. I would enter that on my in the y equals section of the calculator. Simply write open parenthesis 1 plus. Now rate is 7%. We need that as a decimal, 0.07 slash n. That would be x for the calculator. And then raised to the, and different calculators handle this differently, but on the oldest versions you need to use a caret for the exponent, and then in here would be x representing n times t, or in this case 6, or you could say 6x. Okay, so I do have, to do this, I do have the Desmos system, and this is the formula, but I think what we want to do is just set this up as I showed you. But the principal is $250 times 1 plus the rate 0.07 slash n raised to the n times, and let's back this up and say, let's see, t was 6 years, 6n. And now we've got a value, $375.18 for $375.18 for that first value, $375.18. So I'm a little short on room, so $375.18. Okay, so next one, we're going to change n to 4. So let's just do that. N now is 4. And we have $379.11 right here. $379.11. So $379.11. It's good to do this to the penny. We're talking about money. So now we're going to change n to 12. And you can do this on your calculator, just using in several ways. You could look at the table to change the values of x. I'm changing n here, 12. Now we have $380.03. $380.03. $380. 3 cents. And then for 365 compounded daily, we'll do that. Change n to 365. And now we have $380.48. $380.48. Now, if you compare these, you notice the more compoundings, the better deal you get. It's not a lot of money, but it is. You never turn down extra money. Now we'll look at the continuous formula, which I would put into my calculator this way. Y2 is equal to 250. There's the principal. E, this time we're going to use e to the RT. Now, R is 0.07. Let's back up. Many calculators, when you press the second natural log key, you get E with a caret, open paren, at least the older ones. And then in here, we're going to put the rate, 0.07 times t, which is 6. Now notice n doesn't play a role here because it's continuous. There is no compounding period. It's continuous. So let's just actually put that in. 250 e raised to the raised to the r, which is 0.07 times 6. And we get $380.49. $380.49. Notice it's only a penny different between daily and continuously, so it's barely noticeable. So we'll do the same thing over here. Again, y1 will equal 1,000 this time. 1 plus r. Here r is 0.045. Be sure you change to a decimal. Over, and we would if you were putting in your calculator, it'd look like this, 0.045 slash x raised to the, and this time I'm going to put 3x. You could put it in this way. X represents n here. So this is x. This is our variable. Okay, so let's check that out. Let's see. We'll use this system up here. This was 0.045, and this was 3 years and $1,000. Gives us a value of $1,144.53 when rounding. Make sure you round to the nearest penny. $1,144.53. So $1,144.53. These are dollars. We'll change our n, or x in the case of a graphing calculator. We will change that to 4 now for quarterly. Oh, I messed up. I had n set to 365. All right. Let's keep that value. It's $11.41.17. $11.41.17. So this was this value. $11.41 44.53. Now, let's see. I need to erase this. Okay. Let me go back and check my value. 11.41 and 17. This was 11.41 and 17 cents when we just compounded yearly. This was compounding daily, and there's about $3 difference. Check out the quarterly, and we'll change this to 11.43 and 67. 11.43, 67 cents, and then monthly. Monthly, 11.44 and 25 cents. 11.44. 11.44, 25. Notice it's a little bit more than quarterly, a little less, but not much than daily, and now continuously. Continuously, all we do is change the actual parameters here. This was 0.045, this was 3, and our principal 1,000. And so we see 11.44.54. 11.44.54. And round it to the nearest penny, and just like before, it's almost virtually the same. These are with, just a penny off.